Hey guys, it's me Jennifer and welcome to the second video in my weekend tune-up series with Diamond, my 1967 Plymouth Fury VIP. So this time I'm going to be installing a new lower steering column cover because I currently don't have one, as well as fixing the door lock and window on the rear passenger door. So let's go ahead and get to it. Okay, so the first order of business on today's to-do list is putting a lower steering column cover on Diamond. Currently, the air just blows right out from under the dash, which oddly during the hot weather months, that's totally fine. But you know, when it's colder outside in the mornings, it's pretty chilly and I kind of need a blanket just to drive my car. So I've actually attempted to do this twice in the past. When I got her, the steering column cover was busted, so I bought a replacement. Turned out to be the completely wrong one. Then I bought one that actually did fit, and I have no idea what happened to it. It's gone into a black hole somewhere in this garage, like the left sock in the dryer or something like that. So a couple of weeks ago, one popped up on eBay, and it's arrived. But as you can see, it's this dark bluish kind of color, and Diamond's dash is like a satin black. So I'm going to go ahead and scuff this up, get it painted, and we'll go ahead and install it. What's amazing is this is actually in like near perfect shape, which is really hard to find, especially for an original part. Like, it's really good, except for this one little spot here in the corner where the screws go. But other than that, it's like in really good shape. It's the nicest one I've seen so far. So of course I had to spend way too much money on this, but you know, when you finally see something that you've been needing and you can't find it anywhere, kind of snatch it up. All right, so now that this is all scuffed up, let's go ahead and paint. I have some semi-gloss black Rust-Oleum that I'm just going to go ahead and shoot it with. Okay, so it's not the smoothest finish at the moment, but hopefully it levels out a little. If not, I'll give it a little quick sand with a 1500 grit or so, and then should be good to go. So one of the things I need to fix on Diamond is her rear passenger door. Currently, it doesn't lock. You can push down the door lock and no go. It also is a struggle to roll down the window. It binds when you get to a certain point and something's misaligned inside. So what I'm going to do is do one of my favorite things and take apart the door. Hopefully it's like Olivia's door lock where the little plastic thing is not on the rod, and hopefully the window is an easy fix, so we'll see. I think I have to take off this little bit here where my door seal is, then of course take off the armrest base, window crank, and should be able to pop it off, so it shouldn't be too bad. Not sure exactly how this piece plays out. Must be the screws too. Okay, I don't know what's going on with that piece, but I guess we'll find out soon enough. So, oh, that's a star nut. Okay. Just kidding, it's a hex. Not a star. Now hopefully I don't mess up any of the clips. I'm thinking this got messed up during reassembly from the body shop. I need to crank the window down. Okay. Okay, let's see. So first does the door lock itself. So it feels like and looks like everything is working. So I'm gonna close the door and see if that helps. I did nothing. And now it locks and unlocks. I'm gonna look at the window next. I think everything is okay. See the power door lock. Wiring. I think it's okay there too. I don't know if something was just misaligned, so I'm gonna go ahead and reattach the window crank handle while the door panel is off, just to kind of watch it and see what's going on. Okay, so it binds there. What does that look like? It doesn't really come out of the tracks any. So I'm wondering if it's just needs to be like spray lubed. And it binds on something when it gets to the top. What I'm going to do is get some spray lube, maybe like silicone spray or something, and maybe it's just too rusty and it's binding from not being used too much. Okay, so I just ran out, grabbed some PB Blaster silicone lubricants. So I'm going to spray some on the window tracks and run the crank a few times. I'm also going to go ahead and spray some on the door lock mechanisms just to ensure that, you know, those keep working smoothly while I'm in here. So yeah, let's see how this works. Oop. Somehow I just lost the spray tube. It ended up all the way in the corner. All right, moment of truth. I still don't know why it binds at the top, but it's obviously easier. Spray the rollers while I have them up here. Ta-da! So it looks like I am missing a screw here, and I'm not sure where it went, but I have to buy more screws for the lower steering column cover anyways, and that's going to be a tomorrow problem, so I'll just pick up one for that too. Anyways, now that everything is put together, let's double check everything. So, what the? Fine. You can literally hear it work. I don't know. I really don't know. It should be locked. It's not locked. I give up because everything seems to be working as it should. I'm gonna call it done on that. What I am going to do while I'm here and while I have the spray is lube up the door hinges, because as you can tell, they catch and aren't smooth and they're clunky, kind of like how an old Mopar should be, but you know, just so it's a little bit smoother, maybe. I'm gonna try to help solve that. By far the noisiest door. That's a bit better. Okay, so while I wait for a coat of flat paint to dry on the steering column cover, one of the things I want to go ahead and fix is probably a safety issue, but it's something that definitely drives me nuts, and it's the floor mats. Now these, I'm not sure if they're the original floor mats for this car, but if you haven't shopped for floor mats recently, they're expensive, and it's not quite an area that I want to spend money on. So what I'm going to do is put some Velcro on the back of them, just the loop side of the Velcro, if that makes sense. And that way it can grab onto the carpet and hopefully hold the floor mats in place. Now these do have like these little nubs on the back, but they don't really do too much. So hopefully if I put some Velcro along the top and the bottom and maybe the sides, that'll help hold these in place so that they don't slip and slide everywhere while I'm trying to drive. I'm just gonna cut 4 pieces, all about the same length. I'm doing like, I don't know, 3 inches or so. All right, let's see if this helped. Just noticing like my floorboard is poking out, and I don't know if y'all can see that, but needs help. It's definitely a bit better than before. It at least slows down the skidding around, so yeah. Cheap fix, kind of. I'm not too worried about the one on the passenger side, so I'm just gonna go ahead and stop there. All right, so to get ready for installing the steering column cover, I went ahead and took the zip ties off the vent control cables, and I'm going to go ahead and take off the kick panels. I think I have everything that I need to install it, and hopefully by the time I'm ready on both sides of the car, the paint will be dry on the cover itself. So remember, does this just pop out? I think so. Yeah. Alright, let's see if I can figure out or remember how I did this before. This comes off and then goes through the hole. Now for this side. Okay, so this may or may not be dry enough to touch right now. Probably not. It's still a little tacky on the sides. So I'm going to be very careful when I install this, but it's flat black. I had originally painted it that semi-gloss black, but it ended up being more glossy than not. So here we are with flat black, which should blend in a little bit better. I also went to Ace Hardware because I noticed in the bag I have a couple of screws, and only like 2 screws of these little trim kind of head ones. But I realized that, hey, I need 4. So I went ahead and got some black ones. They have the little washer kind of thing going on, but they're the closest I could find, and they're black. So the cable in. There we go. All right. Leave this across and the screws and install. Oh, this is so awkward. That's why I brought pliers. Where are my pliers? Oh no. Don't tell me it fell in. No, it didn't. Good. Okay, I'm not going to fight that one because I've spent way too much time on this, so I'm going to wait till tomorrow and hopefully get everything sorted and tidied up in the morning. Okay, so it's been a few days. I've actually come back here to try to keep getting those clips back on, but no luck. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull a roadkill and use a couple of zip ties because I know that this will be a lot easier. So, okay, so let's see what I can do. I can get it in. I might need to trim it with some scissors or something. It's kind of working. Kind of trimmed it in half a little. So we'll see if this fits better in the little clip hole. Not really. Okay, so that's not gonna work. The idea was to get it so that I wouldn't have to use the clip. The problem is the black sheathing on the cable. I think it's too thick. I can get the clip on perfectly fine if it's thinner. So what I'm gonna do is come back tomorrow, trim the sheathing, and we'll do that. Okay, so next day, so I have a utility knife. We're gonna go ahead and see how this goes. Hopefully it works and I can finally button everything up. So let's give this a shot. Let's go ahead and get the cable off so that I can actually see what I'm doing. The cable has this sleeve and it has, I think it's kind of like an armor cable that stays in the sleeve, and then a middle piece of kind of wire cable that is the part that slides back and forth. So what I'm gonna do is, I think the black sleeve is too wide, and I kind of really don't care how this will look, just because nobody's ever gonna see this. I really don't understand why this has to be the most difficult thing. The fact that I will probably never use these vents, and I'm going through all this trouble. I've been here 26 minutes wrestling this stupid thing and have gotten nowhere. I'm just gonna button it up as is and screw these clips, because whoever designed these at Chrysler back in the day, you suck. Nobody's gonna know. So I'm really glad that I decided against using the clips, just because I forgot this side is a little bit harder to access. So I'm going to go ahead and put the stuff on this side and we'll be calling it done. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and call that done. And in my books, sure, it's a success. But yeah, if you guys like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you feel like helping support the channel, feel free to hit one of the links down below for Buy Me a Coffee or Patreon. And if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.